Hello, welcome to Magpies and Me. This is Belinda and this is my third FlossTube video. I've just got home from work after a busy day at school. The kids were very excitable today, but it was a really good day. And I thought I'd do a fairly short video. A few updates, but really I haven't had as much time stitching as I usually do. I was out in the garden all weekend. We have, as I've mentioned in previous videos, just built a cottage which we moved into about 8 months ago, and the garden is even newer than that. So I just want to thank all my subscribers and the people who have been kind enough to make comments. I really appreciate you all. And you certainly make me feel like I have stitching company, even though I don't have it right here in New Zealand where I'm filming. But I did get a comment from somebody about wanting to see the garden. Well, it's such a new garden. It's really not well established yet. But after this spring, I think I should be able to get something in on camera that is worthwhile showing you. But I so appreciate you taking the interest. I wanted to play the sound of a magpie because I did make a recording. So if you'd like to hear what a New Zealand magpie sounds like, have a wee listen to this. So that was a magpie, and he had just responded to, or she had just responded to some other magpies far off. And they were so active yesterday. Boy, they were singing throughout the day, and normally we just hear them mostly in the mornings and at dusk. But yesterday they were just having a great old time singing away. Must have been having a wonderful day, as I was. I enjoyed their company while I was outside painting some outdoor furniture. So I've been working hard on that. I painted it's a Jack and Jill seating area. It has a little coffee table between the Jack and Jill seats. And I painted it the exterior colour of our cottage, so it will blend in when it's sitting on the porch. What we call porches, verandas here. It just doesn't detract from the cottage itself, so because I painted it a matching colour. I will show you an update on the Estacop sampler that I've been working on. As I said, it's in the Smithsonian, the original stitching and sampler. So here's how much I've done now. And I just wanted to mention that I know I said that this comes from a Bucilla kit and it came with Ida cloth. Well, I'm stitching mine on hand-dyed linen. This is 36 count and it's either Vintage Light Exemplar or Legacy linen, and unlike the original that was stitched on a lower count Ida, I have, because it's 36 count, I was able to use just one strand of thread over two threads of linen. And as I mentioned in the past, I love working with one strand of floss rather than two. So by changing the size overall, I was able to ensure I only needed to use one strand of thread. I'm thinking about eliminating the outline that is supposed to go around the outside. And the reason why is... there it is there. You'll see that there's a very fine one stitch border around the outside. I'm thinking of eliminating that because I think it would pose a problem for framing. I'm going to frame this myself, and like I do most of my work, I think I would probably have a hard time getting that border straight. Straight lines are so obviously not straight when they're slightly out of whack. So I'm thinking about just eliminating that outline altogether. I will be making one or two other modifications too, such as I'm not going to stitch Esther Kopp's name in the sampler. I'll probably end up stitching my own name. So I think it'll be quite lovely without that outer border anyhow. So I did complete a little bit more of that. I wanted to have the Lizzie Kate the little pin cushion ready to show you. I did finish stitching it. I didn't have much left to do, but I haven't made it up into the cushion yet, so tut tut to me, I didn't get it finished in time. I'll make sure that I do for my next video. Oh, I just wanted to say that we're on a hunt for some sheep at the moment. I'll try and insert a picture of the two different breeds that we're looking for. We're looking for a Gotland sheep. That's a new, fairly new breed here in New Zealand. They resemble goats, and they're beautiful. They are considered special for their quality of wool. So it's a very, very fine wool, suitable for spinning and knitting with. I'm going to try and talk my husband into learning how to spin, because I think he's well coordinated, whereas I'm not, and I really feel like I would struggle with the act of spinning. But if he can spin the fleece, then I can knit from it. So that's the intention. The other breed of sheep, and I'll try to insert a picture, that we're looking for are Suffolks. And Suffolks are beautiful black-faced sheep. They have black points on each of their legs as well. Beautiful. As a child, we crossbred Suffolks with another breed, South Downs, and that created a South Suffolk. They were really special. My mum had her own flock of South Suffolk sheep, and each year when they had lambs, they were just so beautiful, exquisite. And if I could find a photo of me as a child with one of my pet lambs, that would be pretty cool. Her name was Buttercup, and she won the fancy dress at the Pets Parade one year. So that's quite funny. I'll have to talk about that another time though, if I can find a photo. But yes, we're on the hunt for some sheep, and we want ewes that are in lamb. But time is marching on. Lambing season has already begun here, and sheep are fetching such high prices right now. No one's wanting to part with their sheep. I think they're holding on to them. So it's a little bit of a difficult find actually, but never mind. I thought I'd show you a pincushion that I made. Now, I mentioned last time when I showed you a tiny wee Mill Hill pattern with a beaded fringe, I had mentioned that I had made a larger pincushion with that same beaded design. Well, here it is. I'm going to try and figure out what is the correct way. Okay, so that is the correct way that this pincushion is supposed to be viewed. This is a blackbird design pattern. It's called Rose Garden, and I decided, instead of just finishing it with rickrack or one of the usual methods, that I would make a beaded fringe. And these are Mill Hill glass beads. They're so beautiful to use. Gives it quite a lovely shimmery effect. And that's a simple little threaded design using the beads modelled off the Mill Hill instructions in those little beaded kits. They give you instructions on how to make this particular fringe, and it's really just, all it is a looping effect, so interlocking loops that continuously wind their way around the pincushion. But that's pretty. I stuffed that one with crushed walnut shells. Another finish that I really really love, as I say, I love Blackbird designs. It's a project, it's actually on the cover, the box at the bottom. This is Blackbird Designs in Friendship's Way, and I've stitched this project 3 times. I made this box once for myself, once for Tracy, who I've talked about. No, Tracy, was it you? No, I'm sorry, Tracy, it wasn't you. You stitched your own. I made it for my sister-in-law, that's right, and my mother. So here is that design, and I decided to put the year in which my husband and I were married on there, 2012, and then is it 2015? That was the year when I completed this actually, and so it just celebrates the first 3 years of our marriage. I just love this design. What I did for the interior, these boxes come from Hobby Lobby. You can still buy them, and they have a very simple black lining in them, which isn't any particularly nice fabric. So I actually inserted my own fabric very, very painstakingly, and I glued it into the box using some craft glue. And I smoothed the edges. I turned them under, top and bottom, on that band around the outside in here, and smoothed the glue right to the very edge, so that there's no coming away from the edge of the box. The fabric is firmly set against the box. That's a Civil War reproduction fabric, a quilt fabric, and I did pad this base ever so slightly with Pellon, but that makes a nice jewellery box or a keepsake box. I keep my jewellery collection in there. I don't have a lot of jewellery, and that's what I use my particular box for. So every day just about I duck in there and I get to you know, enjoy looking at that sweet little design that I stitched on there. It's a really fun project and it doesn't take long. I thought I would also show you what I'm planning on stitching soon. Tracy gave me this pattern. It's a Stacey Nash, it's a Stacey Nash pattern, and it's Summer at Hollyberry Farm. I love this because, as I say, I love patriotic designs that celebrate the United States of America, my other home. So I'm really excited about starting this. I have the fabric, which is 35 count Old Mill Java by R&R Reproductions. Lovely, lovely colours in there, and the bunting just gets me all excited because I love bunting, and I actually bought 3 pieces of bunting to hang on our cottage on American holidays. We haven't put any up yet, but we're going to actually we're going to have an American themed appreciation party for the builders who built our cottage. I mentioned that, and I'm going to hang bunting. But I just love this design. There's the flag waving. I love it. So I'm quite excited about starting that. I have all the fabric, all the thread I should say, and the fabric ready to go. I mentioned last time on my video, I actually read a little bit from this book, Alias Grace by Margaret Atwood. I finished the book well and truly, and since my last video, I enjoyed it. It was kind of, I'm not going to give any spoilers, so I won't say too much more other than I do recommend it. It was really fun reading. Every now and again they had excerpts from newspaper articles about Grace Marks, the protagonist of the novel, who was a real life person who lived in Canada. There were excerpts from newspapers surrounding the mystery of the murder which she was accused of committing and then later pardoned for. So I really enjoyed all those little facts, as well as the author's assumptions about her life. And that was a great read. I've marked a few pages which I want to make notes from. One of the books I'm going to read soon is Gone with the Wind by Margaret Mitchell. I love the film. So the film starring Vivien Leigh, who is featured on the cover of this book, is one of my absolute favourite movies, if not my favourite. I've never read the book, so it's about time that I did that. And I was lucky enough to find this beautiful edition in my local bookshop here, close to where I live in New Zealand. So I'll probably get that started soon, but right now I'm actually focusing on reading a lot of poetry. I write as well as because I really do enjoy writing, but I like to read avidly, and kind of it informs some of my own writing. So that's what I'm focusing on at the moment. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I wanted to say. I don't think that there is. I think I'll keep this video a little bit shorter this time so it doesn't take so long to upload, for one thing. And I just want to thank you all again. Please know I read your comments and I dearly appreciate them. Thank you all very much for your kind comments and your interest. It's lovely to have your company. So have a great week. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me also. Thanks very much for watching Magpies and Me. Bye bye.